Hello, welcome to Soulprint Insights. So I'm really glad you're here today. There's been a lot of talk lately about sort of the vibration of the earth lifting or rising, about entering the age of Aquarius, about, you know, shifting to the fifth dimension. There's just been a lot of talk about the energy of the earth and what that looks like and what that means. Now, one of the things that happens or is going to happen, or frankly has started to happen and will continue to become amplified, is that our ability to connect with the other side, to connect with what is beyond the veil, if you will, is becoming easier and easier, faster and faster, clearer and clearer, because the veil itself, it appears almost as if it is thinning, right? And so we're starting to be able to see through the veil, and that, of course, see as in energetically see. So that creates a situation where that vibration is much easier to sort of grasp and hang on to. So I thought that this would be a good time, since that's sort of a big topic of conversation in terms of what is going on. And again, this is only one aspect of the shifting of that vibrational energy, okay? And it is, as I said before, this is not something that takes place in a week or two. This is something that is going to take conservatively decades, and probably, frankly, longer than that. So it's a process, right? And some of us have chosen to be here at the beginning of the process. Some of us chose to be here to either bring forward, give birth to, or raise, or whatever. Those who are now older, who are again passing on their knowledge and their wisdom to the next generation. And there are going to be generations and generations and generations that follow us, who live in a very different place than we do, because they're going to be functioning on a planet that is simply vibrating at a much higher level. But for now, for us, those of us in the here and now, right now, we are definitely feeling the impacts of that veil thinning. And so, of course, a question had to be asked, right? And the question I asked Vesuvius was, what is the thinning of the veil? Like, what exactly is that, and what does that mean? And I would like to share with you the answer. So, the earth and its inhabitants have entered into the fifth dimension and have been adjusting to its higher vibration for years now. And of course, the vibration continues to rise, and we will continue to adjust and adapt to it. It's not something that happened as a singular event. It is a process, okay? The higher vibration allows for easier and clearer communication between the earth plane and the unseen. This allows for more channeling work to be done without the use of trance or deep meditation. Souls of Earth can more easily hear and see us simply by setting the intention. So the us, of course, that they're talking about are those who are not in physical form right now, whether that is spirit guides, whether that is guardian angels, whether that is, honestly, your much beloved Uncle Charlie, okay? That connection is just easier to establish, okay? Transparency is becoming more common. The higher, lighter vibration is in part being accomplished by the Indigos as their energy comes closer and closer to critical mass. They are the first wave, those who will light the way for the crystals and rainbows to follow. They hold the truth and have committed to beginning the process of heaven on earth. As above, so below. The crystals will then reach their critical mass as they continue to grow in years and numbers. Their primary ability, if you will, is the gift or alchemy of instant manifestation. They come equipped with the wisdom and knowledge of how to continue the work of healing the earth and its inhabitants without stripping the earth of all of her natural resources. Their focus is not on material, but on spiritual and natural growth. They will be followed by the rainbows, which will usher in pure love, clarity of thought and action, and the clear knowledge that we are all one of one source. Now, for those of us who are of a certain age, we also understand that the process started more than 100 years ago. And as our parents and grandparents were coming to the earth, they were paving the way for kind of that next generation. And they became the hippies. And as one of my viewers said, and I love this, and I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was, but I've stolen it from you. We can look at hippies, that era, as those souls that came basically to plant the seeds, okay, planted the flowers, and the flowers were the next generation who not only had their own skill set, as many of you know, because a lot of you are just on the cusp or firmly entrenched perhaps in that hippie, and some of you, of course, are younger than that, but you grew up surrounded by those thoughts and thinking and understanding and passions. You have an awareness of them. So those people, so you have the hippies and then you have that next generation, and now you have, after that, you sort of had the beginning of the Indigos. So everything is a process. It's not a blink. It is a process, and this process to bring the crystals and the rainbows onto the earth, it's been going on for more than 100 years. It's a generational sort of process. So by and large, pretty much everybody has a role to play. Okay, so far and wide, in all corners of the globe, are those who have turned and are turning to the source of all in whichever and whatever way has meaning for them. As I have said before, when you want to think about spirit versus religion versus, whatever, it's very helpful if you picture it like a wheel and the spokes of a wheel, okay? So it doesn't matter if you are a spiritualist, even if you are an atheist in this lifetime, whether you are Catholic or, Jewish or any other religion. Ultimately, we all end up at source. So it doesn't matter what spoke of the wheel that you are on this lifetime, because trust me, over the course of your multiple lifetimes, you'll probably end up being on every spoke on the wheel. But ultimately, we all end up at center. And so that is why, from their perspective, it really doesn't matter what particular form you choose, because ultimately they all sort of end up in the same place, and different lifetimes and different experiences have different reasons or purposes. And so that could very well be why you've chosen to connect to the divine or connect to that higher vibrational energy in whatever way you choose. It varies simply, frankly, from lifetime to lifetime. So we have multiple experiences. So, it's in some ways, it's very sad that that was something that was never really clearly, I guess, explained or taught in, generations and years gone by, because it really would have prevented the whole there is only one right and true religion. And when you get right down to it, boy, oh boy, there sure have been a lot of wars that have been fought in the name of religion. And it's sad when you think about it, when you realize that from that higher perspective or that higher ground, it doesn't matter which one, because they all come from the same source and they all return to the same source. This is a great spiritual revolution. In all areas do we find souls waking to the knowledge and understanding that from the heart they shall know their truth, and their truth will light their own path to growth and enlightenment. I'm just going to repeat that. In all areas do we find souls waking to the knowledge and understanding that from the heart they shall know their truth, and their truth will light their own path to growth and enlightenment. And that's, I guess, part of what we are learning to varying degrees, is that if we're really looking for the truth, we have to look in. We don't look to another. We have to go inwards. That's where we find the truth. Small pockets of people are coming together, finally understanding that there is not one way. There are so many roads and paths to the Creator as there are souls. Each is perfect and complete for that soul's journey. This being the whole purpose and reason for the journey, which has gone on for all time and will continue for all time to come. The thinning of the veil has been in the works and prepared for by many who are on the earth now. Those from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s migrated to the earth for preparation work to assist those that followed, to be their teachers, parents, mentors. They are the ones who are forming the pockets which create the critical mass of the spiritual awakening that is now in process. And those numbers are fluid, by the way. Okay, they're not, if you were born in 1929, you're still part of the 30s group, okay? They're not rigid. Because, of course, nothing is rigid, because everything is vibration and ever moving. Slowly comes the awareness that there is no right or wrong, only different paths, all leading to the same destination. For all time has the earth had teachers, many whose work and words have been twisted and turned to suit personal, political, and or religious agendas. Now comes the awakening, as slowly more and more turn not to that which is outside of them, but turn inside to their own truth. In following that truth, they have found the path that is in light in the moment. Enlightenment. And again, I must say, I wish I had come up with that phrase, but it came from the Conversations with God series of books. But it really is the most brilliant explanation for the word, or definition for the word enlightenment. It literally means standing in the light in the moment. As the earth and its souls become more and more a global village, comes the awareness of the damage and danger that comes from the belief that there is one right way and only one right way. More damage has been caused by wanting to be right than any other. Creation is based on the idea of opposites, that which is and that which is not. It is based on love and its exact opposite, fear. That which is love expands, and that which is fear contracts. Spiritual awakening is the expansion of love and the diminishing of fear. Spiritual awakening is the expansion of love and the diminishing of fear. This is the pathway the earth is destined to take. We in the angelic and divine realm send continuous waves of light and love to the earth and its souls, so that each may find their own personal pathway to love. Love being the source, which is all, it is that which heals and that which grows. We remain at this time Masudius. So part of what we've learned from this channeling is that this process of raising the vibration of the planet has been going on for a very, very long time. It is a process. And in the end, what we hope to achieve is sort of more of a kind of heaven on earth existence, where we have clear and easy communication behind the veil, so that we get to experience life in a physical form, but we have more of the knowledge and insight that is held in the spiritual realm, and that we learn that we are one, and that love is the connector. Okay. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found it interesting and insightful. The Masudius readings sort of are always very multi-layered, and many of my viewers have discovered that listening to them a couple of times is actually very, very helpful. And that also applies to the meditations that are released usually weekly, but sometimes not. I am so sorry. I apologize for that. So as I was saying, also the meditations that you find on the Insights channel, people have favorites. They do them often. They return to them. So please feel free to check those out, some of the ones that you may have missed. So obviously my house is becoming very busy and my phone doesn't want to stop ringing. So for right now, I'm going to say, stand in your light, stand in your strength, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.